Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm back with another LEGO Harry Potter comparison video, this time between the two Beauxbatons Carriage builds that we've gotten since the theme was rebooted in 2018. On the left, we have the standalone Beauxbaton Carriage set from 2019, and on the right and towards the back, we have the side build that was included as part of the Triwizard Tournament, the Arrival set that just came out on June 1st. Before we get into the comparison, though, I do want to remind everyone that I am an employee of the LEGO Group. However, all opinions expressed in these videos are my own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the LEGO Group, and LEGO is a registered trademark of the LEGO Group of companies, which does not sponsor, authorize, or endorse this site. So right off the bat, we can see some pretty clear similarities and differences. Obviously, they have the exact same color scheme, dark red roof, dark tan accents, and gold highlights, but the main color is that I think it's medium blue. It's a really nice blue. I quite like pastel-y colors nowadays, and so I really like this shade of Lego blue. And then, of course, you have a couple of not horses or Pegasi, but Abraxans pulling the carriage. So these are basically just a type of Pegasus, but we'll start with the horses. I definitely prefer the older horses. White Lego horses are not very common. I guess we're seeing them in a couple more sets, but between these two sets, I do think they disappeared from Lego for like 3 years. Like we got them in 2019 and in 2023. So it's just nice to see more white horses. But I definitely prefer the Abraxans on the original set because they had white wings. I don't like this whole silver wing thing that LEGO does sometimes. It makes no sense for the Abraxans to have silver wings on white bodies. It looks way more cohesive having the white wings, and to me, like, this color clash just does not work. I feel like this was done on Buckbeak as well, wasn't it? Where he had silver wings instead of white ones or gray ones with his like latest not minifigure, but like latest mold, and it just looks really bad. The wings are in production in white because Valkyrie's Pegasus in the Endgame Final Battle set had white wings, so I just wish that that had been rectified. But these do have like a similar steering system. So the steering system on the newer one, it's just like a little ball joint piece and you can detach the horse pretty easily. But on the older model, this would actually steer the entire carriage because as you can see, it's rotating the wheels, and then the Abraxans are just attached like with a clip back there so they can angle up and down. So it's a much more sophisticated system on the older version, but they're both still detachable. And so I'm going to take them off for the rest of this comparison. But of course, it is nicer that we had two of them pulling the carriage in the standalone set because there was like a team of 6 of them, I think, in the movie. But I just made that number up, so maybe it was more. Okay, sorry for spending so much time on the Abraxans. I should not have talked about them for that long. Here are the two carriage builds. So obviously, the bigger one is more accurate. The big sets are always going to be more accurate than the little ones, but like I said earlier, you do have the most important features replicated in both. You've got the general shape of the carriage, although it's better on this one. It's much too round on the newer version, which I didn't realize until like I put them side by side just now. But I do like the wider look. It seems more fitting for something that's supposed to be like the Beauxbaton students' home away from home. The size of the wheels is another big thing. The carriage has larger wheels at the back and smaller ones at the front, but the new version just uses the absolute smallest versions. I really wish that this like slightly larger mold had been used at the back just so we could have still maintained a little bit more accuracy. But they both use like the same pieces to actually step into the carriage, and they do both have opening doors with the Beauxbaton crest on them. There are like house style doors on the 2019 set, and they are train style doors on the 2024 version. You've also got lanterns on both sides. I like the physical lantern pieces better on the older one. I kind of feel like that feature, like with the actual lantern piece, could have been replicated here. They would have looked a little bit big, but it's just nicer to have actual lanterns. And then you do have a little seating area at the front of each of these carriages, but there's an actual chair on the newer version, which is much better than the older one, which just had a jumper for Madame Maxime. I guess she was wearing a dress in 2019 versus pants in the new set, but you could have just positioned her right there. And then at the back, I do like that you have this feature consistent across both sets. You've got some teacups in these little like treasure chests at the back. so that you can have the character sit down to tea. And then as for the roofs, there is a small detachable section for both of them. The roof is better on the newer version. I like the shape a little bit more, and it has like a nicer, fancier finial on top. But this one isn't even attached with any studs. This one is secured with just a couple. The interiors are where the comparison gets fun, in my opinion, because in the new version, you have like a pretty decent amount of space. You can try to squeeze 2 minifigures on each side and maybe 2 more in the middle. So I think if you were really shoving them in here, you could probably fit at least 4, maybe 6. But the older version, it was just really, really exciting because you could actually pull out like this whole wall, right? How did this work? I was accidentally pulling on the wrong side of the 2019 carriage, but this whole side of the carriage just flips up, and then this really becomes like the house that it was described as in the book, not in the movie. Because this carriage is supposed to be house-sized, and it's where they live. So inside you have a little side table with a teapot and a teacup. There are no actual studs to position figures on, but you can definitely have them just sitting there. And now the roof becomes like a couple of beds that you could fit like at least 1 minifigure on each, maybe 2. And then you also have a chest of drawers, and inside one is a letter and the other one is just empty. But there's also some lights up here, so this is much more of a home because it's got like a pretty full interior. Like the fact that you've got beds and like seating and tables and drawers, it's really great. Even though it's not highly detailed, it's got a lot of stuff that you would want to play with. This is also a good time to talk about the angling of the windows. The windows are very attractively angled on the older version, and of course you can't achieve that same look at this smaller scale. But yeah, the bigger one obviously has a more accurate shape and a much better interior. That's, it's just a lot better for play. So you guys can probably tell which carriage I like better. It's definitely the 2019 set. It's just bigger, it's more accurate, it's more playable. It's so much better. But of course it's going to be, because it had a whole $50 set dedicated to just that. The new one is just a small side build in a $140 set. I mean, it's not super small. I think as its own set, it would definitely be like a $25 set. But it still has a lot of great details, like the teacups. It does a couple of things better, I would say, like having the chair in front and having like a little bit more detail on the roof. But overall, I would definitely hunt down the 2019 set to accompany your Durmstrang ship from 2024, as long as it's not too expensive on the aftermarket. I didn't check the prices before filming this video. So let me know which version of the Beauxbatons Carriage you guys prefer in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. And check out my website, goldenninja3000.com. I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.